Hello, good morning. My name's Nigel Owen. I should say good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and all you guys out there who are hopefully going to watch this video. Right, this video is a little bit different to what you'll find on the mainstream YouTube. A couple of my friends last night who I was talking to, I speak to them on a regular basis, and they're lovely people. They've been my friends for now, God, since 1979, and they keep in touch with me because they ask about me because we're best friends. And what Hazel and Dougie, their name are. Okay, Dougie, he's from South Wales, and Hazel's from Leicester, so they both live up in Leicestershire now. Lovely couple. But anyway, I was in the army with Dougie, and I joined the army in 1979, and I got out in 2003. I was in an infantry regiment, and I loved it. Okay, I loved it, really good. I had a great time there. But anyway, I'm out now. I've been out for a long time now, and I've done various jobs. I have one job that I finished off with was 15 years of being a property manager. And we'll talk about that later on, okay, because being a property manager isn't a brilliant job because it has its problems attached, okay. I had 47 tenants to deal with, and yes, they have their problems attached. So we'll talk about that later on at the end of me. Now, I've broken this down into 4 parts, and I don't want to put you off, okay. You're going to be looking at me and you're going to be trying to get an understanding of what am I going to be talking about. So I will tell you quickly what I've broken it down into. There's into 4 sections. Me, as in me personally, telling you guys. 2, my cancer. Yeah, I've got cancer. 3, the treatment. And then 4, the connection. However, the 4th and final word of connection is the most important part of this video. Hazel said to me, you're very, very good at explaining over the phone to us exactly what's going on with you. You're very open with it all, and you've got a good mindset. Okay, that's what we'll concentrate on later on. With respect to the connection is based on me having cancer and perhaps you having cancer. You'll be able to connect with me as I would be able to connect with you. I won't ever see you. You'll be on comments or whatever, but I'll be able to connect with you because you can connect with me. You are now speaking to a person who's actually got this dreadful disease, and you'll understand that. You'll get it. You'll see elements in me and feel the whole thing of shit, that's what I'm actually experiencing, or that's what I've experienced, or perhaps that's what I shouldn't be doing now because I've got cancer, or I've been told I've got cancer, and they've said to me I have to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G because it's protocol. You don't have to. Yeah? Okay. Right, we'll talk about that later on, all right, because there's a few things I've written down here, okay? Preparation and planning, as we do in the army. We're very good at doing that. Right. Me. So I just told you my name's Nigel Owen from Mid Wales, and I've had cancer now for 4 years. I initially found out because I went on a bike ride. I'm into my motorcycles. I love my bikes. It's the freedom. I went to Southern Ireland and we went to some wonderful places in Ireland. We did a 3-day trip. We went into Rosslare and we went down to Donegal and then into. Anyway, we finished off we went all these little sort of coastal towns. I can't remember them because you've got names like that there, you know. So we went down and we finished off in Killarney, which was a fantastic place. I love Killarney. And then we came back, went to Waterford, bought some glasses, you know, you have to. And then we came back. And the only problem I had was a pain in my arse. And I had a new motorbike and I thought it was the seat because I bought this top-notch motorbike, this adventure motorbike. And I thought the seat, because it had a heating element in it to warm your bum up, and heated handlebar grips, quite a luxury on a bike. And I thought to myself, this seat is crippling my bum. Oh, it's really crippling it. So anyway, I wrote a nice letter to Triumph after I came back to the UK, and I explained to him about the seat. And I met him up in North Wales of which we exchanged seats, 1 for 1, brand new seat. Wasn't a seat. Wasn't a seat. So I thought, okay, must be hemorrhoids. So I went to the doctor and I said to the doctor, look, I think I've got hemorrhoids. So he didn't even look. He just said to me, he said, right, sit on the couch a minute, he said. Can I ask you 4 questions? He said, I'll tell you one thing now, he said, out of 10 patients that come here, 4 of them have hemorrhoid related problems because, and they're mainly women, and it's because childbirth. Okay, I get that, I understand that. Anyway, he asked me a few questions. He said to me, he said, do you normally go to the toilet to poo regularly or irregularly? I said, well, I said, yeah, I'm a human being, just like you watching. The Queen goes to the toilet, okay, apparently, yeah, just like us, and she poos. So what's the difference? We're all human, we are. We all are flesh and blood and bone, okay? Right, that's the way it is. So I'm going to be talking of this calibre to you along as we go, okay? Pee and poo, very important stuff, okay? Same as food, very important stuff. In it comes, out it goes. So I said yes. I said I normally used to go first thing in the morning, like most people, and successfully. But then I said, all of a sudden now, I said, I've been getting this pain at my bum, I said, and I think it's hemorrhoids. I think it might be internal hemorrhoids. I said, I don't know whether such a thing exists, I said, but... And he said, well, I'll stop you there. He said, you know when you go for your second or third time, do you poo? I said, well, no, not really. I said, a little bit of this brown, tiny brown spots of like, I don't know, I said, but a terrible weird smell coming off it, like an acrid smell. He said, yeah, that's the gas, he said. He said, right, he said, I'm not going to say any more on the subject. He said, I'm going to book you in for an endoscopy. Ooh, what's that? He said, well, that is where they insert a tube up your anal passage through your bum hole, and they go right up and they look inside your bowel. He said, we have to now consider that you may have a problem in that area. He didn't mention cancer, okay? You might have a problem in that area, or perhaps that you have got hemorrhoids growing inside, like he said. So I said, thank you, doctor. I said, when could I? He said, oh, well, anyway, I'm booking. Excuse me. I'll tell you why I'm burping is because I'm attached to chemotherapy, okay? There's a type of chemotherapy that's attached to me. There it goes, okay? It's all up there. Through a PICC line. I don't know if you can see the PICC line. It's that little blue thing there, see it? That PICC line there goes in. It's a big line. It's a line of tube about, well, it's about 50 centimetres long. It's a very thin tube and it goes through a main vein, it does, in there under the arm, right along, all the way through, and it comes, it's just sitting off the heart, about 10 mil off the heart. I used to have one there. You can see the mark there. It's normal for a PICC line to go in the right arm because it's easier to get to the heart, okay? So, because I've had this PICC line in for a year and a half, they took it out because they can deteriorate over time. Now it's in this arm. Trouble-free, plug and play. It is brilliant. I get on with it brilliantly. Now, I've only got this chemo attached to me for 48 hours because I had chemotherapy yesterday. So my chemotherapy session up in the hospital here, I had cycle 9 yesterday, and I was there from 9 o'clock sharp, hooked up to 7 bags, and I left at 3:45. It's a long old day, and now I've got this as well attached to me for another, well, tomorrow afternoon it'll be taken off. Right, going back to the endoscopy, I've got to tell you about me, how it actually started, okay, because my next video will be about my treatment. So I don't want to really duck and dive into that too much about the treatment, but I'm just telling you about how it all started. So the endoscopy, nothing to be frightened about, okay? The little tube, the tube that goes up your bum, all right, it's well lubricated and you don't really feel it, okay? I've got to tell you that because the body opens itself up, it does. And the tube, the little probe, it goes up your anal passage, right up into the bucket, the poo bucket, okay? We have all our intestines. You eat your food, it's 24 foot of intestine. 24 foot, I believe, in the average human being. It's a hell. If you think that 1 foot is 12 inches and you've got 24 feet of intestine in your stomach, anyway, it's a long way to go, and it finally digests and takes all the minerals and the goodness out, and then all the rubbish stuff goes and it's green it is as such, as it greeny brown as it enters in the poo bucket, and then the poo bucket is there. It's about that big it is, okay? So yeah, and it has like a micro switch in the bottom, and when that micro switch is weight related, it tells the brain go to the toilet and have a poo, and that's how it happens. Right, and then it goes, the whole spinnaker opens and out it goes, and we know the rest. Flush the toilet and gone. So anyway, they stuck this probe up my bum and it went right up. It was in the bowel, it had a good look around in the bowel. Clear, absolutely nothing in there. No polyps, no dangly bits, no foreign agents in there, nothing. So I thought, oh, that's brilliant, because you can see it on the monitor. We have a monitor, huge big television in front of you. You can see exactly what that probe can see. And that probe has got a camera attached to the front of it. And it's also got a little claw built around it, okay? Talk about the claw in a few minutes. So anyway, they went around, had a good look around. No, very good. Nice doctor that did it on me, a very nice doctor. As he was pulling it out, because it got little ridges in this bendy type of tube that goes up. He was about as fat as my finger, actually. Can you see my finger? Yeah, there we are. So it goes all the way around and whatever. And as it was coming out, oh, it caught me. I thought, bloody hell, what the heck is that? So anyway, we went back up a bit. There was a tumour in my anal passage. If you wanted to, you could put your finger up my bum and touch it. 10 centimetres up, okay? 10 centimetres up, and you could touch my tumour. It was like a garlic stuffed mushroom. That's what it looked like, and it was sitting on the wall, the inside wall of my poo passage, the rectal passage, the rectum. That was a bit of a complication now, that was. So anyway, protocol, he went in, out came the claws, took a big chunk of it and came out. All right, and he did it 3 times, and they have to do that. That is called the biopsy. So they take the biopsy then, or the chunk of flesh. It was only a tiny little thing, you could hardly see it. They take it away and it gets analysed under heavy microscopes and all sorts of things. And then they give it to a consultant, and the consultant will contact you, and the contact then is either, yes, it's malignant, or no, it's just a cyst, or whatever the case may be. Anyway, no, it was real proper cancer with me, proper pucker, stage 4 cancer. They could identify it from then on. So protocol on paper states the procedure, the biopsy, and then because of the tumour I had, radiotherapy. Now, and then I've said that because radiotherapy was my downfall, okay? Then it's a case of, after radiotherapy, then it's a case of surgery, and then, if needed, chemotherapy, just in case. And hopefully you don't have to have long-term chemotherapy. Just in case, okay? Just in case is normally 5 sessions, normally 5 sessions. It doesn't happen to everyone. We're all different, okay? It was just in case there was any living cancer cells in my system. Like I said to you, this bowel cancer thing is probably one of the worst cancers, because it can do a lot of other things it can within your body. What I haven't told you is that I've got 8 tumours inside me. I've got 8 tumours in my lungs now, and they're just larger than broad beans, so they're about, say, 2 centimetres long. I got 8, 4 in this lung, 4 in that lung. And it's lungs, it's cancer of the lungs. It's not lung cancer. Lung cancer is normally classed as smoker's cancer, okay, but I haven't got that. I smoked, yes, but it was way back in the early days of the army in 1979-80, okay, and I didn't smoke proper fags. I smoked roll-up tobacco, which is much healthier for you. None of this potassium nitrate. But anyway, the fact being is that I've got 8 tumours in my lungs, and I've got a big tumour in my liver, because it's spread in the bloodstream. Right, an old professor told me, because I've been really into this, a medical professor, retired, he was talking to me, and I was asking him so many questions, because I'm quite inquisitive, and I'm very questionable. It's just a build-up of knowledge, realistically. So I asked him about cancer, and he said to me, he said, well, you know, the problem is, Nigel, he said, cancer, he said, it's a difficult one, he said, to put a finger on, he said. There are nearly 300 varieties of cancer in this world that we have to live with. He said, in Britain, we have over 300 varieties of holly tree. Holly tree. I never knew that. He said, once you go to a holly tree and you start cutting its branches off, trimming it down, making it nice, he said, that holly tree will, during coming up to the winter months, will have an abundance of red berries on it. And it might be the first time ever. And the reason why is because that holly tree has been quite happy sitting there, doing his little thing, just, you know, growing bit by bit. But you've come along, you cut all his branches off to make him look pretty. And he's thought, shit, I need to reproduce. This guy's going to cut me down. So it reproduces with all these wonderful red berries. And it might be just for 1 year or 2 years. Depends. That's what cancer's like. You start fiddling and taking a biopsy, taking a few chunks out of it, it gets thinking. Cells are mega intelligent. They start thinking, they think, shit, somebody's having a go at me, somebody's trying to kill me, so I'm going to start to think about going into reproductive mode. I'm going to start reproducing. Because, whoa, this I did not expect. Right. Radiotherapy does exactly the same thing. Zip, 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 zip. Radiotherapy can't be done to everyone, okay? It depends on how easy it is to access that particular tumour. So zip, zip, zip goes into serious reproductive method. And unfortunately, via the bloodstream and via the whole organ cell system, it travels around. And unfortunately, the first place it goes to, because it loves it there, the lungs, okay? And then it'll be the liver, then it'll be the lymph nodes, and in extreme cases, it'll be the brain, okay? Now, like I said, over 300 types of cancer out there, and we're all different, and that is it. That needs to be the thing to think about, okay? So, the treatment that I'm having, or the chemicals that I'm currently having, might not be relevant to you. Okay, you might have breast cancer, and breast cancer can be initially quite a nasty thing to have. You know, for a woman, I get it. Okay, I see it in front of me all the time. I see some very, very attractive ladies sat in the chairs in front of me in the chemo ward there, and they're so unhappy. They're really at their lowest. They lose their. The two things about a woman really that carries a woman, yeah, is her breasts. They are part and parcel of being a woman, okay? That is factual, I believe. Some women will disagree. Just my opinion. And their hair. They spend a huge amount of money and time on their hair. And yes, and I see them balder than me. They've got less hair than me. And they're like this, you know. And they put headscarves on and stuff. And they've got one boob missing and stuff. And I go to talk to them, and I talk to them about, and you get a good understanding of how people realistically are. They're very saddened by the whole thing. But I do say to them, look, you know, the fact is that you've had a breast removed. So what? I've got tits. Look at mine. Look at my tits here. Look at them. Don't particularly want them, but it comes with old age, unfortunately. I even got nipples. It comes with old age, okay? But in my case. But some of these girls, they've had their boobs removed, and they're thinking about perhaps having their second one removed just in case. Well, okay, you can adapt, all right? You can have special bras that have fillers in them or whatever. You can adapt it. Your hair will grow, okay? Your hair will grow back, it will. But I believe, from what I've been told and seen, that the vast majority of these ladies, I don't see them anymore. They're all sort of gone into remission, you know. They're all same with that lady friend that came to see me, and I haven't told you about her yet. I haven't told you. I had a gentleman friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, a motorcyclist. He came up to me about a year and a half ago, and he said to me, Nigel, will you do me a big favour? It's a big ask, but I'd like you to keep it confidential. I said, go on then, because that's why I can't name him. And if they're not from here, they're away, they live away. So he came to see me with his wife, and his wife spent 2 hours in the kitchen, just me and her, talking. He went downtown, had a look around Aberystwyth and that sort of area, Aberaeron or whatever. he went downtown and had a walk around, and I found that his wife was in a bad place. She'd had breast cancer. She no longer had cancer, but she strongly believed that the cancer was going to come back. That was her mindset, okay? She had it there. it was no going away. I mean, that is the issue, see. The mindset is a big ask. Yeah, you've got your blood, flesh and bone, as I said earlier on, and it's all controlled by the brain. The brain is a very unique, complex thing, and we've all got a different character, a different way about us. We're all individuals regardless, and we have, like I said, ways of dealing with things, and I've got a very unique perhaps way of dealing with things. I was ex-army, and I've seen some atrocious things happen to me. Legs blown off in the Falklands War and all that sort of stuff, you know, being very close to them. The screams of like animals that humans give off. But you know what, it didn't affect me at all. I saw guys squashed on the road, soldiers, that didn't affect me at all. Now, we're all different. And then you've got other guys who are coming back from the army and they were terribly, terribly mentally affected by it. That's the difference between me and them. I could cope with it. It wasn't a big deal for me, you know. It's what I expected, actually. And I was even put in a situation where I could have easily have got killed. The bullets that were whizzing past me were unbelievable in this firefight that took place in. However, I thought to myself, well, if it's time, it's time. And it wasn't actually, so I'm still here talking to you. Anyway, moving away from that now, because that's a different thing altogether. I was a young lad, 19 years of age, just turned 19, so I was probably daft as they came then. I was daft as a mad hare then, so, you know, probably, I never even gave it a second thought, perhaps. So she came to see me. She sat down with me for 2 hours in the kitchen, and I went through everything with her. I talked to her and talked to her and talked to her, and she was crying, and she told me about the problems, you know, of trying to get to sleep at night. She was going into a dark room and trying to cry herself to sleep and stuff. She was actually worrying herself to death over nothing. And I said to her, why are you worrying about nothing? I said to her, why is that? What's all this about? So this goes back to connection, okay, the final part of what I'll talk to you about later on, the connection. The connection, and I'm telling you now quickly, because I don't want you to get too bored with my video and then say, off he goes, load of shite. Well, the connection is quite important because, like I said to you, it connects with people, because I've got the connection. I've had cancer, I've got cancer, and I'm talking about my cancer openly and freely. And I will go into greater depth now, because I'm going to be talking about my treatment, my cancer, my treatment in greater depth, and then more into the connection. Because I connected with her and I analysed what was going on with her. I'm no guru, I'm no physiotherapist, I'm no psychologist, I'm not a doctor, and you know, I haven't got a clue. It's just me talking, being the connection. So she connected with me, and she totally understood where I was coming from, and she understood where I was coming from to an extent where everybody else who hadn't had cancer put an arm around her shoulder, shed a tear and said, I know what you must be going through. They didn't. Of course they didn't, and I didn't expect them to. They tried, okay? They tried their best professionally. They tried their best at Macmillan people and whatever. But if you want to realistically cure yourself, you have to speak to somebody who has got what you've got. And they have to be experienced. And a shared experience is the thing that is a cure, okay? She is now cured. I've told her, I said, do you know what? Just use 2 words now in your daily way of thinking. And I don't know whether YouTube are going to allow me to say it, so I'll have to say it in a different way. It's called feck it. Feck it. You know what I'm trying to tell you. So whenever she did anything, or she phoned me up one day, she said, Nigel, I'm in a jewellery shop, I've seen this beautiful Omega watch. So, what are you going to do about it? I know, feck it, I'm going to buy it. She's a transformed lady. She's now out having coffee with her friends. She sleeps well at night, and it's because she connected with me. It just needed somebody like me to be realistic with her and tell her where she was coming from. So like I said, that is just something as a bit of a teaser for the later interview, because currently I've done 25 minutes, 26 minutes doing this short interview. I can talk, okay, and I've got a lot more to talk about. Like I said, I've written it all down on paper, yeah. Okay, so I will talk about quite a few different things as well, which probably will give you some guidance, good guidance and information, and a possible no new way of thinking about things. So I'll end it here now, my friends, and I'll start again. Now, the one thing I would say to you to do, and you hear it all the time, because this is my first video I've ever done realistically for YouTube, and because I'm making a total of say 3 or 4, I think I might just have to do 3. It all depends really how far I get. You'll have to subscribe, because then you'll see and come up as 1 me, or A me, B my treatment and my cancer, 3 or C, and 4 the connection. Okay, so you'll have to subscribe, guys, and give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Okay, I don't care if I'm a load of shit talking to you. Give me a thumbs down. I don't care. Okay, but there will be people who will give me a thumbs up, I'm sure. I'd like that actually. Okay, because I want to be honest with you and direct with you. I'm not a bullshit person, okay? I've never been a bullshit person. I'm a very truthful and trusting person. But I just want to share my experiences with all you people out there who want an answer, perhaps, to a connection. Okay, guys? All right, so thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. And girls and boys, cancer is affecting us all. It doesn't take prisoners, it's affecting us all at all ages, unfortunately. So listen, thank you again, and join me in my next video. I might just do it straight away after this. I'll have a cup of coffee, I'll go away, rethink about what I've got a bit of a terrible memory. When you've had chemo, you can't really remember what you've just said earlier on, so I might be doubling up on a few things, but just bear with me on that one, okay? Like I said, it's called chemo, well, I haven't told you, it's called chemo brain, but I will explain that later on in my cancer. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye bye.